Hello again. So today, this is another non-lush video, like yesterday's video, yesterday's psychic video where I talk about my psychic experiences. And today's video is going to be somewhat similar but different. I just wanted to show some things that I've bought in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And just to show you the things that I bought and why I bought them, etc. And so they vary from like you know, airy fairy things like incense to like candy or wax tarts and stuff like that. So yesterday's video I was talking about you know, psychic gifts that seem to be returning or opening for the first time in some cases, and so what I didn't mention in yesterday's video was that I have been doing a lot of different things than what I would normally do, and because I am of the understanding that all of these things will help to sort of raise my vibration so that I can continue to have these experiences that I'm having. And a lot of them are, I consider, really good sort of healing experiences, and so I want those to continue. So anyway, so I've been buying some things towards that end, and so I was going to show you some of those. So I got some incense from Sprouts, and because I haven't had any in so long, I'm talking to like maybe like almost 20 years, because as I said in yesterday's video, I had you know, stopped doing certain things and put sort of that whole part of me aside just to raise my kids. And so anyway, so I decided to buy some Nag Champa incense. And so here's the box of those. And it smells so nice. You know, I mean, you just can't forget that wonderful scent of Nag Champa incense. There we go. Finally have it right side up so you can see what the box says. So it's Nag Champa incense. And then we have these Nag Champa Argabarthi Golaka incense, and this one almost has sort of an additional golden amber, sort of a golden ambery kind of a additional note to it. And then I got these 2 candles here, and they're from the Blessed Herbal Candle. Okay, and so I used to use these candles, the same brand, in the 90s whenever I meditated, and I liked these candles because I liked the sort of smaller pillar shape. They last a long time. I like that they have a healing prayer there, but you can also do your own thing. It's made with during when the moon is right, and they each have individual fragrances relative to them and colors. So this one is the Energy and Will candle. So Energy and Will, and this one, and it's a gorgeous sort of gold, yellow, orange color. And then this one is a healing one, and this one has a gorgeous deep purple color. And And so you just unwrap it, and I have like a little metal bowl. It's like a psychedelic paint thing on the outside, and I put sand in the bowl, and then the sand helps the candle stay up, and also it catches all the drips from the wax, and that's what I light them in. So I can show you that when I decide to light one here. So I'll probably do the healing one since I could use some on my leg. And then also I got some new wax tarts. For those of you who are into melting wax, fragrance, oils and stuff. And these are from a company called the Melting Duck. See it there? The Melting Duck. And I love the little duck. And this one has little duck-shaped wax melts. These are in the scent called Whip. I'll explain about these two in just a minute. So anyway, the people who own this company are Lushies. Lauren is one of two women who run the meltingduck.com wax tart company, and Lauren has been a Lushie alongside with me, a Lush addict for years and years too. And so when I found out that she was making her own wax, that excited me because I know that she's a Lushie, and I know that she knows the Lush scents, and so I knew that if she was gonna create some Lush dupes, that they would probably be pretty good, because I knew her sense of scent was pretty good. And so what I ordered was, I finally ordered from her company for the first time. It took me forever. I ordered 3 of a blend that she makes called Leia, as in Princess Leia, because the scent of these are cinnamon buns, like Princess Leia had in her hair on either side. Cinnamon buns, creamy vanilla, fresh baked bread, and cream cheese frosting. I'm going to do tap, 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 tapping on everything that I touch for you people who like the relaxing ASMR tapping videos. So this truly does smell like a cinnamon bun. I mean, it's crazy. So good. It's sweet, it's cinnamony, it's creamy. It smells just like a cinnamon bun. So I got 3 of these. And then I got 3 of something called Jody's Confectionery Creation. And it's strawberry cake, coconut cream pie, and zucchini bread. So you can see why I chose this one. I mean, strawberry cake and coconut cream pie, what? Oh God, and it's a lovely pink color. I mean, it smells so good. I honest to God smell like a hunk of coconut cream pie with strawberry. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how any of these wax tart companies do it. It's like voodoo to me. And then, so I got 3 of those. And then I got I got 3 of a blend called Chim Chim Cherry, like Chim Chim Cherry. And it is black cherry, baked pie crust, and sugar waffle cone. Chim Chim Cherry. Oh my goodness. It's got sparkles, sparkles, sparkles. Oh, I cannot get enough of this. Cannot get enough. So I got 3 of those. And then, last but not least, oh, actually, it's not, it's a second to last. This one is called Herd of the Heidecorns. Okay, Herd of the Heidecorns. And what it is it's 29 Pearl Street, which is their interpretation of Lush's 29 High Street fragrance. Okay, so it's 29 Pearl Street and their fizzy soda blend. So Herd of the Heidecorns is a combination blend of 2 of their blends. One is called 29 Pearl Street, which is a dupe of the Lush 29 High Street, and the other blend is called Fizzy Soda. So basically you have Lush's 29 High Street fragrance, like the 29 High Street shower gel and the perfume, with a fizzy soda note added to it. So take that floral, sweet, orangey, citrus blend of 29 High Street and then give it an extra bump of brightness and effervescence from the citrus, and that's what this smells like. Herd of the Heidecorns. And what a gorgeous color this is. It's my favorite color. Oh my God. Oh, all day long. All day long. I get to smell this all day long. Oh my God. And the blend works. I mean, obviously, because I'm addicted to it. So yeah, Herd of the Heidecorns. That's so cool. And then, then she just included included in my package as samples these little duck-shaped melts. This one's called Mac Apple, and there were 2 of them, but I've melted one. And then these 2 yellow ones that are in her scent called Whip. And I told you I wanted to talk about these. So, like as I was saying in yesterday's video, when I was in the hospital having all those experiences, I was sick. I was just sick, and I was also sick once we came home from the hospital for another week because I could not keep any food down. And so, and not only that, but just food just did not, I just didn't want any food in my body at all because it just didn't taste good. So one of the things that, one of very few things that gave me great comfort, things that got me through all of that sickness while I was in the hospital and the week afterwards while I was recuperating at home, one of the things that got me through, honest to God, was these little yellow duck wax melts in her Whip fragrance. Honest to God, they were like 3 or 4 or 5 things that I would smell because I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't hold anything down. Nothing sounded good. So all I had to resort to do was scent. And luckily, being me, I had a lot of good smelling things around me to choose from. And so the things that I kept in my near me when I was recuperating in my hospital bed and at home, one of the things that I kept with me was this package of yellow Whip ducks, and I have a picture of me because I just literally would just open that and just put my nose in there and just breathe in there for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then I could make it through the pain because I was having a lot of leg pain, a lot of post-op pain, a lot of stuff like that, and a lot of uncomfortableness and nauseousness and just a lot of you know, anxiety and stuff. So I learned a lot about how scent can really help somebody when you don't have a lot of other options. I mean, it was quite remarkable. So whip is so yummy. It smells like butter. Like it smells like sweet, like buttercream frosting. That's kind of what it smells like buttercream frosting. Just like it just smells so perfect and so comforting and so wonderful. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is also a food, but this is something rather interesting that my husband had found. Now, I'm not a vegan. I definitely support vegans, of course, but I myself am not vegan. And one of the things that my husband had found was, it was sort of in the form of those GoFundMe kind of things, except this was different. It's a gentleman who, he was a veterinarian, I guess, and he lives in various places, and he had bought some land in an island in Japan that the name escapes me now, and it's called Shodoshima. And on this island, their crops there were olives. And so this gentleman who bought this land wanted to sort of, there was a lot of byproduct of the olives, harvesting them, and he didn't know what to do with it. So what he decided to do was sort of reincorporate it back into the land and get sort of an ecology growing once again in that area that he bought, you know, where it was used once to process olive oil. So he developed a process where he laid all of the byproducts from the olives in the sun, and he fed them to the local cattle there. And he was a veterinarian, mind you, so he really had a lot to do with watching the local cattle there and taking good care of them and such. So anyway, these cows that are only on this island and only eat the olive tree byproducts, these Wagyu beef cattle have like an enormous oleic acid content and other, it's called crowd cow right here. And normally the public wouldn't have the opportunity to participate in something like this, but this gentleman went ahead and gave the public the opportunity to buy this cow. Basically, he raises these cows for food, and the cows contribute to the ecology there because they fertilize the land where the olive trees grow, and then the cattle eat the olives, and then so you know where if you're gonna eat beef, I find this seems to be sort of like one of the cleanest ways I've seen to consume meat. You know, I mean, that's what appealed to me about it. I never thought that there would be really a high vibrational way to eat meat, but I think that this gentleman may have stumbled upon just a way that is actually, I don't know, putting back into the local community. There's so many good things that what this gentleman is doing. He's incorporating the farm to table aspect. He's incorporating that, putting ecology and commerce back into the local, you know, I mean, there's no waste like there is like with regular processed beef and such. It's a totally different kind of a gig. and the beef is actually very healthy, and they deliver it to you in dry ice. And it's not like a big huge chunk of meat. It's meat that is to be eaten and respected, and in that way it's to be sliced and a certain portion, because it's very high and very rich in this olive oil content, and it's very gourmet beef in that regard. So I just thought that was really cool. And so again, this is called Crowd Cow from Sodoshima. Olive Ragu, the rarest steak in the world. If you want to check that out. So hopefully that'll catch on, and something like that would change the entire beef and cattle industry. So then, as far as I just wanted to also just to keep it real, like I say, the universe, I think everyone who has had spiritual breakthroughs and spiritual experiences would agree that it seems like once you put it out there to the universe, that you are actually looking for something more in life, or you're looking to connect with that mystical side of the universe. Once you put it out there, the universe usually puts things in your path, known as synchronicities, or events, people, places, events that can help you get there. And so that's why I wanted to show you all these, the candles, and food has been something that has changed drastically. What I eat has changed drastically. with the exception of becoming vegan. I am not vegan, but my previous eating habits all of my life up until maybe 7 or 8 years ago was, I could give 2 fucks about what I put in my body as long as it tasted good. I didn't really give a shit if it was healthy or not, or what I was impacting the environment or anything. I often ate good, but I certainly had my share of processed foods. I've eaten some of the most questionable food, really. And so I know that once I put that out to the universe, that I wanted to start to get in touch with that side of myself again, they started to sort of guide me towards certain foods and away from certain foods that I was eating. And so processed foods, fast foods, those 2 things in particular, high fat, high salt foods, which were my favorite foods, in the decades previous, have now been replaced completely by almost completely by unprocessed foods, and with a really good, healthy, whopping dose of raw foods, and things like I'm taking things like, I just ordered some stuff on Amazon, some skate liver cod oil, or skate liver oil. It's like cod liver oil, but it's supposedly this uber superfood, crazy superfood that nobody knows about, that I ordered as soon as I found out about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking that, so I'll be able to let you know what that's all about. And drinking higher alkaline water is something that I started to also do in just recently, the last couple of months. I've begun to be more aware of what I'm putting into my body. I would say more so in the last maybe 2 or 3 months, but it's been on the you know, on the upgrade for about the last 7 or 8 years now, ever since I met my husband, basically. We have a garden, and we try to eat farm to table as much as we can, even with our proteins and such, which is hard because we live here in the desert. We literally live out in the middle of nowhere in the Southwest desert. And so finding fresh vegetables or fresh protein is really difficult to find quality stuff around here. So, but we managed to do it. And so I'm glad I did, because I don't think I would be having these kinds of experiences. I don't think I would be as far along on my being able to hold a higher vibration if I were still eating the same way that I was eating 7 years ago. I seriously doubt, you know, I'd be aware of anything at this point. And I'd probably weigh about 100 pounds more, or I know I would, because I did weigh about 100 pounds more. So, but how and I was always sick, always sick, always ailing, always, it was just not good. And they helped me. Well, I say they, but I asked my guys, I said, one day I just got so sick of being sick, like in pain, sick in my stomach. And I just was like crying out, you know, when you get so frustrated, you start talking of whatever, you know, and I just said, please help me figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong here. As I don't like this pain, you know. And so I don't, you know, they answered me, and I don't mean like I heard a voice give me a bunch of answers. I mean, like they put ideas. It's almost like ideas pop into your head that would never have popped in your head, you know, on your own, or at least not most of them anyway. For instance, I stopped eating ice cream. I stopped eating ice cream. I mean, I loved ice cream. That was my favorite food. Ice cream before bed. That was my thing. I had to have a big bowl of ice cream before bed every night for fucking years. That's what I did. And that was the first thing to go. And do you think I wanted to get rid of it? No, I didn't. If left to my own devices, the thought wouldn't have crossed my mind. But when I did that and I stopped eating ice cream, you know, after 8 o'clock, at first it was just after 8 o'clock. You know, I had the most horrible diet. Like I would eat after 10 o'clock, I'd eat a big bowl of ice cream and then go to bed. That kind of eating, you know what I'm saying? So once I stopped doing that, immediate relief, literal immediate relief. Like the symptoms I was having and all the pain just literally disappeared. And then what started happening as a byproduct of that is I started losing weight. Well, of course I did, right? Because like, you know, you're eating an extra 400 calories every night. That adds up to like, you know, a pound or two a week. So I was starting to lose weight. And so little things like that, you know. The other thing is I stopped eating fast food. I stopped going to fast food places to eat for lunch and for breakfast and for dinner or whatever. I just, I don't know that I cut it out all in one day, but I do remember it didn't take that long. It took maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks of tapering down until I literally stopped going and getting fast food for lunch and dinner. If I did go to get fast food, it would be like at Panera. Panera was the only place I would allow myself to go for fast food because they led me to the fact that Panera has higher vibrational food, and that was what I was needing at the time. So all of these things, you know, and more. I'm not going to go into all of them because we'd be here all day, but those are some of the things that I've done to change, you know, what I put into my body that has seemed to have a really good effect on my ability to sort of open up clairvoyantly and spiritually. And but that said, I'm not gonna front. I do have a weakness for candy. Candy is such a weakness of mine, particularly any kind of cherry candy, berry candy, or cherryish, berryish kind of candy. I'm just like, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe because I didn't eat candy when I was a kid, so I'm making up for it now. I don't know if I'm reliving my second childhood or what, but yeah, nerds. I mean, sometimes I still gotta have that processed sugar, but for whatever reason, I'm not saying that it's like this for everybody, and I'm not saying what I do with all these foods or not is what everybody should do, because each person has their own guidance system that they should listen to as far as what they should put into their own body. But I'm just saying, I have come to understand that a mouthful of nerds is actually gonna do me less harm than having a bowl of ice cream. So when I do have that, you know, that sweets kind of a thing, I'll usually reach for some kind of hard candy, or even like sour candies or whatever like that instead. If I don't, I'll usually have a piece of fruit, actually, but sometimes, you know, I just gotta have that sour hard candy. So, and I also switched, speaking of candy, I also switched to eating only dark chocolate. I only eat 88%, I only eat 80% or higher dark chocolate. I can't eat regular chocolate anymore, and I can't eat processed chocolate. I can't eat candy bars, which is very, very odd for me, because those are were my weakness for years. Like Snickers bars, what? I could mow down some Snickers bars. I'm a Snickers girl, but I can't do it anymore. I even start coughing. I can't eat one. I can't eat them because I just start coughing. I don't know what it is. So anyway, those are some of the things that, oh, and then one of the other things that I bought is this ring right here. And this one is an obsidian ring, and it's an arrowhead. And it's got hammered gold around it, and then it's got the obsidian stone hammered into there, so it looks like an arrow. And then, speaking of obsidian, I've got this big chunk of obsidian here on this chain that I got from an Etsy shop. I also got this on Etsy. And so this is, obsidian is a good protecting stone and a grounding stone. And I've come to be of the understanding that I should always carry or have on my person some certain stones. And one of the 3 certain stones that it was suggested I should carry was the obsidian. And so that's why I bought this, and it's pretty chunky, and that's why I like it, because it's just kind of like this big old clunky piece, you know. I like it. So, all right. So that's about it. And thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.